What's up?
What's up, Jamal? Over here to your left.
What's going on?
How are you, man? It's obviously been a bit of a break, but you're back. Huge card, fight week again. How's it feel to be sitting up there again?
It feels pretty good, man. Feels good. Just ready to get to Saturday, get in the cage, and get my hand raised.
Yeah, and you had the little interaction with Alex yesterday that kind of went around. What did you take away from that? Anything, or was it all just good vibes? You wanted your signature on your jacket?
Yeah, it was. I just took away the fact that I appreciate him taking the time out to sign that for me. It was just something that I wanted to get from this week. You know, I'm just enjoying the time that, you know what I mean, just my time. You know, we life is but a vapor, so I'm gonna enjoy it. This is a very special moment, very special card, very special week and fight, and I just want to take it in as much as possible.
Yeah, and kind of along that theme, you've talked about your story and some of the difficult times you've come through in your life to reach a moment like this. Like, do you reflect on what you've been through, or do you do that after?
Yeah, that's something for after. That's something to, well, as you said, reflect on. The job ain't done yet.
Yeah, and just last thing for me, of course, endless speculation about the injury and the recovery and stuff. Do you remember the day during your rehab, whatever it was, where you got back in there and you're like, this feels right now. I'm ready to go towards a fight again?
I've been feeling like I was ready to go for a while, but I listened to the team, I listened to the doctors, and so I don't know. I don't really have an answer for that, for the simple fact that I've been ready to go since I got hurt.
When you get in the cage on Saturday, is that when you're only going to 100% get that confidence back in it, or is that not even lingering in your mind?
What? I don't even know how you even came forward that question from what I just said. What?
Fair. No, fair enough.
I'm only going to get 100? That was strange.
Jamal, talk to me about the mentality for this fight, right? You were the champion. You had to give that up through injury. You didn't lose that through a fight. So do you feel like on Saturday you're defending your title, or are you using this as an opportunity to be the challenger, climbing to the top once again?
I just feel like whoever wins Saturday night is the champion. That's just how I feel about it.
Obviously, when everyone talks about Alex and his fighting style, the calf kicks is something that comes up again and again. I saw you post something on your TikTok sort of talking about those and making light of it. Do you have a strategy in mind for those calf kicks, or do you think, hey, he has to worry about what I'm doing, not the other way around?
I have a strategy for everything. You know what I mean? You should have a strategy for everything. You shouldn't want to get hit with anything. So, yeah, I plan on dealing with every weapon that he has.
Obviously, you got to talk to your friend Israel Adesanya about Alex. How good a resource was that just to be able to call him up and get some tips from him?
It's an invaluable resource to just be able to reach out and pick at one of the best minds in combat sports and have him, who's had more experience with Alex than I think anybody that Alex has ever fought. So it was good. It was a great conversation.
Jamal over here. How's it going?
What's up, James?
The rest of camp looked like it went really well. I know you train with a variety of different partners. Are there any names that you train with that maybe we don't know about that we should be knowing about in the gym?
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to get a shout out to my guy, Big Dog, Brett Martin. Brett Martin has been my secret weapon for my camps since I came into the UFC and since we linked up. He's a heavyweight. He's a big boy. He's another guy who don't get any love just because of his physique and things like that. You know, people talk about my body. Bro's body's pretty tough, but his abilities are unmistakable and they're incredible. They keep me sharp. I'm always able to bounce things off of him and learn with him and grow with him in the gym. You know, whenever he comes in and we're working, we get after it. And he knows me pretty well now, so he's able to actually shape out some other challenges and things like that for me. And yeah, he's been invaluable. I've also worked with a couple of the guys that were local from that fight for the bare knuckle, Mohawk Esteban Rodriguez, and Eric Lozano. Couple of tough, they're tough. Esteban's he's tall, long, rangy, and he fights.
And speaking of Michigan, how cool is it having Cody Brundage on this card? You both used to fight for Lights Out Fighting or Lights Out Promotion. Have you spoken to him this week?
I haven't seen Cody yet, but yeah, that is actually pretty dope. They asked me who I wouldn't mind being in my locker room. I told them definitely I would like to have Cody Brundage in my locker room. It's special. It's definitely special. Just that for me and him, because he was the last fight before Contender Series. He was on that card. We were on the same card before I joined the UFC. Obviously, I went on Contender Series and ended up getting signed. He went on Contender Series and was later signed. And now both on main card. UFC 300 is wild. So yeah, that is pretty dope.
And just last one for me, not looking past Saturday, but do you have kind of like a timeline of like how often you want to fight this year? Is it just about, opportunities and location and all that? Like, how do you sort of determine your schedule after Saturday if all goes well?
I haven't looked past Saturday, so I'm just focused, locked in on Saturday. I want to make sure I get the result that I want Saturday, and that's the main focus.
Jamahal, to your right. I noticed earlier you quoted Ecclesiastes saying that life is but a vapor. During this process from the injury now going into this fight, what do you feel like you've been taught most?
Even more so, appreciate the moments. Yeah, appreciate the moments. Just, it could have all been over. It really could have all been over for me. There are athletes who have suffered this same injury who had to call it a quits on their hopes and their dreams. And I'm fortunate enough to now be in a time and was in a position to where the best medicine available was available to me. And I was able to take advantage of that and use the resources to make my way back and come back in a time that people really just can't seem to believe. So,
Thank you.
Jamahal. Is he? Jamahal here.
What's going on?
You already fought and won against 4 Brazilians. Alex Pereira is the 5th, and it's a big name out of Brazil right now. How was the experience to deal once again with the Brazilian audience on social media?
The Brazilian audience is different than Alex's audience, so it's been a different experience this time, I'll say.
And I would like to know from you, if somebody told you 3 years ago that you would be headlining UFC 300, would you believe that? What would you think at that time?
If somebody told me I'd be headlining UFC 300 at the time, I'd believe it. I believe it because I know myself, and I know the belief I've always held in myself. But it would have got me hyped. It would have definitely had me excited. I don't know. I just always planned on being in these moments and being in this situation ever since I was a kid. Like, you can even ask my dad. My dad is here right now. Just from the time I was a kid, I just always believed that whatever I did, I was going to be one of the best at it. For a time, it was football. For a time, it was basketball. But whenever I sat in on fighting, I knew I would be here in moments like this, fighting for championships and able to have an opportunity to put myself up there with the greatest names to ever do it.
Thank you.
I know there's a lot of talk about Alex Pereira's fast rise in MMA coming from the kickboxing scene, but it was just in 2019 when you won a Contender Series contract, and this time last year you were originally supposed to fight in a Fight Night headline, and you got the shoulder spot fight Glover, which you won, became the first Contender Series graduate to do so and become champion. So do you think people are kind of putting to the side your fast rise in this sport and to now ultimately headline UFC 300 as well?
I don't know. I don't care. That's not important at all. Like, he's a great fighter. That was his opportunity to show his greatness. His opportunity came fast, and he stepped up to the occasion, and that's good on him, And I feel I've done the same with the opportunities that I've been given. So this is just that next opportunity.
Yeah, I was just mentioning because you also went up through a fast rise, but that image when you and Alex were looking at each other after you beat Glover went around in the lead up to this fight. Did you ever imagine that would be the root of such a thing like a UFC 300 event?
No, because it was just a handshake. He was over shaking my corner's hand. I went over and shook his corner's hand. So that's pretty much what that was. But I did see that he could possibly be an opponent in the future, and I was excited for it. I wanted him to win. When I got hurt and I had to give up the belt, it was like, all right, what's the best course? What's the best that can happen now? Because somebody else is gonna win the belt. Who better than Alex to win the belt? Like, you know, y'all think y'all, and he is. You know, he's the two division glory champion, 2 division UFC champion, kickboxing great, hands of stone, bad man, just a monster, dangerous, scary dude. He's all those things. But watch what I do to him.
Jamal, first and foremost, I like your shoe selection. Very nice. And
Wait. You know I tore my Achilles in this. Yeah. It was hard for me to put these on today.
and is there any truth that did you go to the same doctor as Aaron Rodgers?
Yes. Well, Aaron Rodgers went to the same doctor as me.
Did you guys? You mentioned that you played football. Did you guys have any conversations, you and Aaron? I know he's big MMA.
No. I've never met Aaron, so I never like talked to him or anything like that. No.
Gotcha. The Jets could use somebody like you to catch the ball. But speaking of quarterbacks and Super Bowl, like UFC 300 is kind of like a Super Bowl, big time. It's going to be a lot of focus on you. On one of your fights on the walkouts, I heard the commentators talk about your calmness and your coolness. You believe that you have that clutch, the attribute, the trait that you can just come through in the biggest moments?
Yeah, that's something I just know. I just trust myself. That's one of the biggest things that I hang my hat on is the fact that I know that just naturally I show up. It's who I am. It's what I do.